Have you ever found yourself wide awake at 3 a.m., lying in the stillness of the night, staring into the dark, quietly wondering what's happening to your body or your mind? You're not in pain. You're not anxious. But sleep just slips away, leaving you alone with your thoughts in the quiet hours before dawn. It can feel unsettling, even a little mysterious. You might think something is wrong, or that this is just part of getting older. But here's the truth. Waking up at 3 a.m. is far more common than you might imagine, especially as we age. And it's not random nor a flaw in your body. It's a result of subtle shifts in biology, emotions, and life rhythms that often go unnoticed. In this video, we're going to explore 5 powerful and often overlooked reasons why so many older adults wake up at this specific hour, and more importantly, what those early wake-ups might be trying to tell you. Each reason reveals something deeper about your health, your inner world, and your life experience. These aren't just surface-level explanations. They're rooted in real science, physiology, psychology, and the natural aging process. And by the end of this journey, you may come to see your sleep in an entirely new light. We'll talk about hormonal changes, circadian shifts, physical discomfort, emotional restlessness, and even the impact of lifestyle habits, gently uncovering what might be quietly shaping your nights from within. And we'll do it in a way that's honest, compassionate, and deeply respectful of the life you've lived. So if you've ever opened your eyes at 3 a.m. and wondered, why now? You're in the right place. Stay with us until the end. What you discover might not only help you sleep better, but help you understand and care for yourself with more patience, kindness, and wisdom. Let's begin. Number 1, the breath that disappears, sleep apnea and interrupted rest. Another silent, often undiagnosed reason why many older adults find themselves waking up around 3 a.m. is a condition called sleep apnea, a disorder in which breathing is repeatedly interrupted during sleep. Sleep apnea doesn't always come with loud warning signs. In fact, it can be quiet, subtle, and easily mistaken for normal aging or light sleep. But beneath the surface, the body is fighting for oxygen. When your breathing pauses, even for just a few seconds, your brain receives a distress signal. Wake up, breathe. And so, often without remembering it, you are pulled from the depths of rest into light, fragmented wakefulness. This pattern can repeat many times throughout the night without you ever fully realizing it. And often, one of the most common times the body becomes alert enough to notice is around 3 a.m. For many older adults, especially men, sleep apnea becomes more likely with age, particularly if there's excess weight, a history of snoring, or underlying conditions like high blood pressure or heart disease. But even those without these risk factors can be affected. The symptoms can be easy to overlook. Waking up tired despite a full night in bed, morning headaches, dry mouth, restless sleep, or feeling short of breath during the night. Partners might notice loud snoring, gasping, or long pauses in breathing, but for those who sleep alone, it can go unnoticed for years. And yet, sleep apnea doesn't just disrupt rest. It burdens the heart, brain, and metabolism, increasing the risk for more serious health concerns if left unaddressed. The good news is it's treatable. A proper sleep study can reveal what's happening during the night. And from there, solutions can range from simple lifestyle adjustments, like losing weight or sleeping on your side, to using a CPAP machine, which gently keeps your airway open and allows you to breathe and sleep with peace. Take a moment to ask yourself, do I snore? Do I wake up feeling unrefreshed? Has anyone ever said I stopped breathing in my sleep? If the answer is yes, don't brush it off. Sleep apnea is more common than we think, and treating it doesn't just improve sleep, it protects your life. So if your body keeps waking you at 3 a.m., it may be doing something wise, asking for air, for space, for help. Listen gently, breathe deeply, and know that better rest is possible with the right support. Number 2, the quiet decline of melatonin, a natural shift in the body's sleep rhythm. One of the most common and clearest reasons older adults often find themselves waking up around 3 a.m. is the gradual decline in melatonin production, a natural part of aging. Melatonin, sometimes called the sleep hormone, plays a vital role in regulating our sleep-wake cycle, our internal clock that tells the body when to rest and when to rise. In our younger years, the body produces melatonin in strong, steady amounts each night. creating the ideal conditions for long stretches of deep, uninterrupted sleep. But as time passes, this natural production begins to fade, often silently, and the effects can slowly start to shape our nights. You may still fall asleep with ease, especially after a full day or a calming evening. But come the early hours of the morning, whether it's 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, or 4 a.m., your melatonin levels may drop too low to hold you in that restful state. There's no loud noise, no vivid dream pulling you awake, just a gentle shift in brain chemistry nudging you back into alertness. And here's the truth. This isn't your fault, and it's not a sign of failure. It's a natural reflection of how your body is evolving gracefully, silently, biologically. To make matters trickier, the bedroom environment, something we often overlook, can worsen the effect. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to even the faintest environmental cues. A sliver of light from a street lamp outside, the soft blink of a digital clock, or the subtle glow from a hallway nightlight can suppress melatonin production even further, making that 3 a.m. wake-up feel even more frustrating. Take Harold, for example. At 72, he'd always prided himself on being a solid sleeper. But recently, he found himself waking around 3:15 a.m., not anxious, not worried, just awake. At first, he blamed himself, wondering if something was wrong. But then he learned about melatonin's natural decline, and everything made sense. With that understanding, Harold stopped fighting his body and started supporting it. He darkened his bedroom, turned off screens an hour before bed, and added a short evening walk to reinforce his natural circadian rhythm. These small, intentional choices became powerful signals to his body that it was still nighttime. Now, while he still wakes early on occasion, he no longer resents it. He's working with his body, not against it. And that's the quiet power of awareness. It transforms self-criticism into self-compassion. It helps you step into the role of caregiver for your own changing body. When you understand what's happening, you can begin making choices that bring comfort, rest, and peace back into your nights. Number 3, the shifted sleep cycle, when your body's clock ticks a little earlier. Another powerful reason many older adults find themselves wide awake around 3 a.m. lies in a quiet but natural transformation, a shift in the body's internal clock known as advanced sleep phase. As we age, our circadian rhythm, the internal timekeeper that governs when we feel sleepy or alert, begins to drift forward. This means you might start feeling drowsy earlier in the evening and waking earlier in the morning, often without any alarm to prompt you. Maybe you've noticed it. Nodding off during a late-night movie, or waking at dawn with strange sense of alertness, even on days when you desperately wish you could sleep a little longer. This shift isn't a matter of poor habits or lack of discipline. It's deeply biological, embedded in the way our bodies adapt with age. In younger years, our sleep rhythm is often synced with the sun. Late evenings, later mornings. But with time, that rhythm gently nudges forward. Suddenly, falling asleep at 9 p.m. or earlier feels natural. And by 3 a.m., your body has already had a full night's rest, even if the world outside is still fast asleep. That's why you might wake up at 3 a.m. not in distress, but with a calm sense of being done sleeping. It's not insomnia. It's not dysfunction. It's just your body running on a different schedule than before. Think of your internal clock as something that's been quietly resetting over the years, tick by tick, season by season. And while it's a normal part of aging, it can be frustrating when your new rhythm no longer aligns with your household, your relationships, or your personal routines. There's also an emotional layer to this change. Many older adults live in quieter environments with fewer external demands, without the noise, bustle, and social cues of a structured day, like meetings, commutes, or late-night family chatter. Your body begins to power down sooner. The peacefulness of solitude, while comforting, can also accelerate your natural wind down. Take Charles, for instance. At 68 and newly retired, his evenings became calm and quiet. He often had dinner around 5:30 p.m., watched a little television, and was asleep by 9 o'clock. By 3 a.m., like clockwork, he'd wake, alert and rested. At first, he worried something was wrong. But once he learned about advanced sleep phase, he realized his sleep hadn't broken. It had simply shifted. With that realization, Charles made gentle changes. He stretched his evening out just a bit, reading under warm light, enjoying a light walk after dinner, sometimes calling his daughter for a chat. These simple actions acted as signals to his body, helping delay the sleep window just enough to align his wake-up time closer to morning. The result? Fewer 3 a.m. awakenings and a life that felt more in rhythm. This subtle shift in sleep timing is something many older adults experience, but few talk about. Understanding it can be a powerful antidote to confusion or self-blame. Instead of fighting your body's new rhythm, you can embrace it with kindness and gently reshape your routine to better fit the life you want to live. So if you find yourself waking up around 3 a.m., feeling fully rested while the sky is still dark, remember, your body may not be broken at all. It may simply be ahead of schedule. Number 4, physical discomfort when the body whispers in the dark. Another common reason many older adults find themselves awake at 3 a.m. lies in something simple, yet deeply human. The body's quiet response to discomfort, or to subtle health issues that tend to reveal themselves in the stillness of the night. As we grow older, the chances of living with chronic conditions or minor but persistent physical annoyances increase. And unlike sudden pain or illness that demands immediate attention, these discomforts often speak in whispers: a stiff joint, a full bladder, a dull ache in the back. Yet even these soft signals are often enough to pull you gently, but firmly out of a restful sleep. Take arthritis, for example. You may fall asleep comfortably, but several hours of lying still can cause joints to stiffen and ache. The pain may not scream, but it nudges, just enough to wake you. For others, it's acid reflux, especially after a late meal or lying down too soon after eating. Even small things, dry mouth, a muscle cramp, or a subtle change in room temperature, can rouse a body that's become more sensitive with time. One of the most frequent causes for men, in particular, is the need to urinate during the night. As we age, the bladder becomes less elastic and more urgent. What may be easy to ignore during the busy hours of the day becomes impossible to tune out at 3 a.m. when silence amplifies every sensation. And once you've gotten up and moved, even just to visit the bathroom, your body has often shifted from deep rest to a lighter, more alert state, making it harder to fall back asleep. There's also the matter of medications. Many older adults rely on daily prescriptions for blood pressure, heart health, or chronic pain. Life-saving, yes, but not without side effects. These can include frequent urination, body temperature changes, or increased sensitivity to noise and light, all of which can quietly but consistently interfere with sleep. And sometimes the link between a medication and disrupted sleep isn't obvious until someone helps connect the dots. Take Ella Lehner, a 76-year-old woman who's always been a light sleeper. Over the past year, she began waking at 3:30 a.m. like clockwork. At first, she assumed it was just part of aging. But after speaking with her doctor, she discovered that one of her medications was affecting her hydration and increasing nighttime bathroom trips. Together, they adjusted the timing of her dose and made a few gentle lifestyle tweaks. Now, she sleeps more soundly and wakes less frequently, and when she does, she returns to sleep with ease. Here's what's most important to remember. These awakenings are not signs that your body is breaking down. They're signs that it's paying attention. Your body is responding, adjusting, alerting you in subtle but meaningful ways. That 3 a.m. wake-up call might feel like an inconvenience, but it can also be a quiet invitation, a signal to check in, to care more mindfully, and to make thoughtful changes that support deeper rest and better health. Number 5. When habits shape the clock, how daily routines quietly shift your sleep rhythm. Another powerful, but often underestimated, reason why many older adults find themselves awake at 3 a.m. lies not in hormones or health, but in something far more familiar: our everyday habits. Over time, the small, seemingly harmless choices we make, like eating dinner earlier, slowing down in the evenings, or moving less during the day, begin to quietly reshape the body's internal rhythm. These changes may feel natural, especially after retirement, but they send a clear message to your brain. It's time to wind down. And when nighttime begins earlier, your natural wake-up time creeps forward too. Think about it. Before retirement, your days may have been filled with movement, responsibilities, and social interaction. commuting, errands, meetings, or even just staying mentally engaged. But as life becomes quieter and less structured, those external time cues begin to fade. And without them, your internal clock can easily drift. A dimly lit, peaceful evening can cause your brain to produce melatonin earlier, ushering in sleep before you even glance at the clock. Before you know it, it's not even 9 p.m. and your body is already sinking into rest. By 3 a.m., you've had your full share sleep, and your body thinks it's time to rise. There's another layer to this as well: what and when you eat. While eating dinner earlier is generally a healthy habit, it can sometimes lead to a subtle dip in blood sugar during the night, especially if there's no light snack before bed. That drop may not feel like hunger, but it's often just enough to disturb your sleep. And caffeine, even when consumed in the early afternoon, can linger longer than we realize, particularly as metabolism slows with age, leading to a lighter, more easily disrupted sleep. Take Walter, for example. At 74 and newly retired, his routine shifted slowly but steadily. Dinner at 5 p.m., a nap in his recliner during the evening news, and bedtime before 9 o'clock. None of it felt out of place. Yet he began waking at 3 a.m., confused as to why he was alert before even the birds began to stir. After taking a closer look at his daily rhythm, Walter made a few gentle changes. A short walk in the late afternoon, brighter light, while reading in the evening, and skipping those early evening naps. Slowly but surely, his sleep window began to stretch forward, aligning more naturally with his preferred wake-up time. What's truly remarkable is how often we overlook the power of routine. Our bodies are rhythmic by nature. We thrive on patterns, signals that tell the brain when to prepare for rest and when to welcome a new day. But when those signals weaken or shift, our internal clock can lose its sense of direction, leading to earlier, more fragmented sleep. The good news? It's never too late to gently guide your rhythm back. With awareness, intention, and just a few small adjustments, your body can return to a sleep cycle that feels more restful, more aligned, and more you. Number 6. When the mind stirs before the morning, emotional and psychological restlessness. Sometimes, when you find yourself wide awake at 3 a.m., the reason has less to do with your body and more to do with your heart and mind. As we grow older, the busyness that once filled our days begins to soften. And in that stillness, emotions we've quietly carried for years may start to rise to the surface. The early hours of the morning, when the world is hushed and distractions fall away, become a quiet stage where thoughts, longings, regrets, or unspoken worries can gently make themselves known. This isn't the kind of restlessness that comes with sharp anxiety or racing thoughts, like it might have in your younger years. It's softer, more reflective, like a low hum in the background, a sense that something inside you wants to be acknowledged. In those quiet moments, your mind may drift through memories, old friendships, choices made, losses felt, or words left unsaid. And because your days are no longer crowded with rushing, working, or caretaking, there's finally room for those thoughts to echo more clearly. Loneliness also plays a quiet role here. With time, social circles change. Children grow up and move on. Friends become busy and routines shift. While your days might still be full of light and activity, the silence of night can bring a sharper awareness of what or who is missing. This kind of loneliness isn't always heavy. Sometimes it's just a soft ache for connection, a quiet yearning for someone to talk to when the house is still. Take Gloria, for example. She's 80 and widowed. Her days are filled with gardening, phone calls to her grandchildren, and her favorite TV shows. But often at 3 a.m., she wakes, not from pain or noise, but from memory. Her thoughts drift back to her late husband or worries she's tucked away during the day. At first, she thought something was wrong with her sleep. But in time, she realized this wasn't a sleep issue. It was her soul asking to be heard. So Gloria began keeping a small notebook by her bed. When she wakes, she writes down a few simple thoughts. Nothing grand, just honest words. She also started a quiet evening ritual, soft music or a short letter to a friend. These gentle acts became emotional outlets, helping her heart feel heard and her mind at peace. Because here's the truth. The human heart doesn't follow a clock. It remembers when it wants. It questions when it needs. It grieves, hopes, reflects, and sometimes it does all of this at 3 a.m. when the rest of the world is asleep. But that's not a flaw. That's a sign of depth, a sign of a life richly lived. So if you find yourself waking in the dark, not from discomfort but from thought, don't rush to silence it. Ask gently, what is my mind trying to tell me? What part of me is asking for grace? Sometimes, the most meaningful kind of rest comes not from pushing these moments away, but from welcoming them with curiosity and compassion. And in doing so, you may find not just better sleep, but a deeper, more peaceful understanding of who you are in this chapter of life. Number 7, the liver's quiet work. When detoxification disrupts your rest. There's a lesser known but deeply fascinating reason why some older adults wake up around 3 a.m. It has to do with the liver's natural rhythm of detoxification. According to both traditional healing systems and growing scientific interest, the liver is most active during the early hours of the morning, typically between 1 o'clock and 3 a.m. This is when the body enters one of its most important cycles, cleansing, filtering, and resetting. The liver processes toxins, regulates blood sugar, and supports hormone balance during this quiet window. But here's the thing, as we age, the liver, like every organ, can lose a bit of a deficiency. Years of exposure to medications, alcohol, processed foods, or underlying health issues, such as fatty liver disease or mild inflammation, can make this detoxification process more burdensome. And when the liver is working harder than usual, the body may respond by waking you up gently but persistently around that exact time. You might not feel pain. You might not even be fully alert. But something inside you stirs, a signal that your body is doing deep internal work. There's also a link between liver function and blood sugar stability. If your liver struggles to release glucose steadily during the night, your body may interpret that drop as a threat, triggering cortisol or adrenaline to raise your blood sugar and, in the process, pulling you out of sleep. It's subtle, it's quiet, but it's real. And like all the body's signals, it's not something to fear. It's something to listen to. There are ways to support this process gently. Avoiding heavy or late meals, especially rich or fatty foods before bedtime, limiting alcohol intake, staying hydrated, and including liver-friendly foods like leafy greens, turmeric, beets, and warm herbal teas. For some, a medical checkup to assess liver function can bring clarity and peace of mind. Because sometimes that 3 a.m. wake-up call isn't emotional or hormonal. It's simply your liver doing its nightly duty, asking for a little extra care. And when you understand that, you can stop blaming your body and start working with it lovingly and wisely. Number 8, when light is missing, the quiet role of nature in sleep. Sometimes, the reason you find yourself waking up at 3 a.m. isn't found in your hormones, your emotions, or even your health, but in something much simpler, a lack of natural light. As we age, many of us spend more time indoors, especially after retirement. Our days may become gentler, quieter, and more homebound. And while this shift can feel comfortable, it often means we're no longer getting the daily exposure to sunlight that our internal clock depends on. Sunlight isn't just warmth or brightness. It's a biological cue, a message to the brain that helps regulate melatonin, cortisol, and the entire rhythm of wakefulness and rest. When the body does receive strong signals from daylight, particularly early in the morning, the sleep-wake cycle can become blurred. You might start feeling sleepy earlier in the evening, and your body, without clear guidance, may decide that 3 a.m. is already morning. Without exposure to sunlight during the day, melatonin may be produced too early, pushing your body into sleep well before bedtime. And just as gently, that sleep may end prematurely, leaving you wide awake while the world is still dark and silent. There's something else, too. Nature isn't only a timekeeper, it's a healer. Research has shown that time spent outdoors, even 20 to 30 minutes a day, can improve mood, reduce anxiety, stabilize circadian rhythms, and foster a deeper connection with your surroundings. Simply feeling the breeze on your face, walking among trees, or sitting in the sun can signal to your nervous system, you're grounded, you're safe, you can rest. If you find that your days have become dim and repetitive, consider this a gentle invitation. Open the curtains, step outside, let the morning sun touch your skin. You don't need to hike or travel far. Just give your body the light it's quietly craving. Because sometimes the path to better sleep doesn't begin in the bedroom. It begins under the sky. Practical steps for better sleep and health at any age. 1. If you suspect sleep apnea, talk to your doctor about a sleep study. Ask your partner if you snore or stop breathing at night. Sleep on your side, not your back. Lose excess weight if needed. Consider using a CPAP machine if prescribed. 2. If melatonin levels are low, keep your bedroom completely dark at night. Turn off screens 1 hour before bedtime. Take a short walk after dinner to reinforce your body clock. Avoid nightlights or LED clocks near your bed. 3. If your sleep cycle has shifted earlier, delay bedtime by 15 to 30 minutes with calming activities. Use warm lighting and gentle music to stretch your evening. Add light, social connection in the evening, calls, reading. Keep a consistent wake-up and sleep schedule, even on weekends. 4. If you experience physical discomfort, adjust your sleeping position to reduce joint pain. Use a supportive mattress and pillows. Avoid late meals or lying down right after eating. Speak to your doctor about adjusting medication timing. Keep your bedroom temperature comfortable and consistent. 5. If your habits shift your rhythm too early, avoid naps after 5 p.m. Have a light snack before bed to prevent overnight dips in blood sugar. Limit caffeine after 1 p.m. Get some natural light in the afternoon. Add gentle movement or walks during the day. 6. If your mind is restless or you feel emotionally unsettled, keep a journal by your bed to write down your thoughts. Create a calming bedtime ritual, soft music, reading, prayer. Reach out to a friend or family member for a short chat in the evening. Practice deep breathing or gentle meditation before bed. 7. If liver detoxification may be involved, avoid heavy, rich, or late-night meals. Limit alcohol and stay hydrated. Support liver health with foods like leafy greens, turmeric, and warm herbal tea. Talk to your doctor about checking liver function if you wake consistently between 1 to 3 a.m. 8. If you're not getting enough natural light, open your curtains as soon as you wake up. Spend 20 to 30 minutes outside each morning or late afternoon. Keep your home well lit during the day. Avoid staying indoors all day. Even a short walk helps reset your internal clock. Gentle reminders. Be patient with your body. It's adjusting, not failing. Treat your 3 a.m. awakenings as messages, not mistakes. Small changes can bring deep rest and peace over time. You're not alone in this. You're evolving with wisdom and grace.